What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I'm back, this time with another Beastly review, as we're going to be checking out the entire first wave of the Transformers Rise of the Beasts Beast Battle Masters. Now, this wave consists of Cheetor, Skullcruncher, and Rhinox, and I think out of everything we're seeing for the movie line, these guys have the most collector appeal, because they are very similar to the Battle Masters that we saw with the War for Cybertron line, and it's kind of cool to use them as weapons for the Deluxe Voyagers and Leaders. But we're going to very quickly check out the box art. So here we have Cheetor in his cheetah mode. He does transform into a kind of cool Energon blade for Optimus. This is what the back of the box looks like. And here we have Skullcruncher, and I think this is the first time we're seeing a CG render for the character, so I'm still holding out hope that in some way, shape or form he's going to at least make a cameo in the movie, because it would be so awesome to see a kind of crocodile alligator Decepticon. But he transforms into a Buster Cannon, very similar to the one Optimus used in Revenge of the Fallen. This here is the back of the box, and then finally we have my personal favourite, that being Rhinox. And what does he transform into? Well, it is an ass cannon, which we're going to get stuck into in just a second. Now, I'm going to review these in order of worst to best, because there are some here which unfortunately I don't think are too great, that being Cheetor, and here we have him in his cheetah mode. You know, honestly, I don't think that phrase is ever going to get old, but yeah, sadly, he is my least favourite out of the bunch, and it's because I just don't think the beast and weapon mode look as good as the other two. But, you know, in terms of detail, it's not terrible. I'm not the biggest fan of them casting the torso in grey. It just really sticks out, and to be fair, quite peculiar because it just doesn't fit the character at all. But we do get some nice metallic silver mechanised panels here for the back of the legs, some decent sculpt work too, and the face doesn't look terrible. There are some nice ball joints here for the shoulders, and the feet can also surprisingly pivot back and forth, and the same could be said here for the back legs. But yeah, that is basically him in the beast mode. You know, not too much to talk about. Let's maximize him into his weapon mode. So first up, you're going to want to take the head, and there we have the blade. You'll then want to take the feet, straighten these out, and take the front legs and just flip them upwards for now. We can then take the back legs, and basically they're going to clasp over the top of the front shoulders. Take these here, angle them to the back, and make sure everything is nice and squeezed together just so it looks neat and tidy. And then finally take this massive paw, deploy it, and bang, there is Cheetor weaponized into his kind of Energon blade. And yeah, you know what, it doesn't look terrible, but I just don't think it's as good as the blasters that we're going to see with Skullcruncher and Rhinox. It would have been cool had they, you know, smacked on a bit of silver here for this blade, or maybe some Cybertronian hieroglyphs, but it is what it is. Now, personally, I think he looks best with himself, so you can quite literally have Cheetor holding his own weapon, which is a little strange, and there is a joke to be had there, but I won't be saying it. Now, in terms of its integration, you can peg it upwards, but personally, I just think it looks kind of awkward, and surely it makes more sense for the blade to be on the underside, so I like to take it and kind of have it as an underslung weapon, because to me at least, I think that looks way cooler than having it the other way. So you can quite literally have Cheetor slicing and dicing some of the Terracons or the Predacons, and yeah, doesn't look too bad. But then we check out my second favourite, and it is Skullcruncher. Now, for some strange reason, this guy is an absolute pain in the butt to obtain here in the UK. This guy always seems to sell out pretty much everywhere the minute he's put on shelves. So if you do find him, I'd recommend to pick him up, because I think he may be quite sought after. But in terms of beast mode, you know, way better than Cheetor. Some really nice kind of mechanized panels. I love the detail. I just love crocodiles or alligators in general, and I am so hoping he makes an appearance in the movie. But, you know, unlike the combiner version that came with Optimus Primal, he does have some jaw articulation, so it does reveal some pretty nice kind of tongue and teeth detail. And in terms of the articulation, the legs are all on ball joints. But let's transform him into his weapon mode. Very straightforward. So take the head, and bang, there we have the kind of Buster Cannon. You'll then take the tail, and this little tab is going to slide into that slot, so just snap that in there. Now, as far as the legs go, to be fair, it's up to your own personal preference, but I think the instructions have the front ones kind of folded forwards, and then the back ones you have clasping over the tail. And there we have him in his weaponized mode, which again is so much nicer than Cheetor. You know, we get this massive metallic silver cylindrical section at the front, which looks cool. Although I will say, I think a missed opportunity that all of these Beast Battle Masters have is that none of them come with blast effects. That would have been so cool, and would have been a pretty cool carryover from the War for Cybertron line. But if you do own any of the blast effects from that line, they are compatible with these Battle Masters. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Now, in terms of who I think it looks the best with, surprisingly, it's an Autobot. It's Optimus Prime, because as I said previously, this really does remind me of his 2009 Buster Cannon. So we can just smack it into his hand and have Prime tell him, Primal, stand down, let them come, you will die. Give me your face. So literally just throwing all of the iconic Michael Bay Rise of the Beast quotes out there. But yeah, I think that looks pretty cool, and proportion-wise doesn't look terrible at all. So yeah, pretty cool looking figure. But then we turn to my personal favourite, and I'm just going to tell you guys, this thing is a must-have. We have Rhinox, and I haven't reviewed a bad Rise of the Beast Rhinox figure yet, so makes me super hyped for some of the Voyagers that are going to come out. But yeah, beast mode for this guy looks terrific. I mean, check out the detail we have for the face, and not to mention he is so nicely painted. I mean, we get some massive mechanized panels for the shoulders, a bit of kind of ribcage detail, and even some here for the back of the leg. They have detailed his ass, so at least they didn't miss that detail. And yeah, overall, a very nicely done looking figure, quite compact and looks the part. Now, in terms of maximizing him into his weapon form, it is kind of sus, so you basically take the back legs and split his ass right down the middle to reveal an ass cannon. Now, it can be a little tricky to do without these pieces popping off, because they've kind of got indented ratchet joints at this point, and it can be a little sturdy, but, you know, just bring these pieces here all the way back, take this part, and collapse it in upon itself. Do the same here for this side. You'll then want to take these legs and just fold these down, and then these ones will very nicely just kind of sit over the top, and then we can flip out the cannon, and bang, there we have Rhinox maximized into his weapon mode, which I think looks awesome. And trust me, when we get the Voyager version, I will definitely be slapping this on himself, because I think this looks so incredible. We get this kind of massive metallic silver machine gun piece here at the front, which has been detailed so nicely, and just the way it kind of compacts together here at the back, I just think it looks awesome. Now, in terms of who I think this works best with at the moment, it would be Optimus Primal, because I just think the weapon suits the kind of stocky nature of Primal. But yeah, you can have him literally taking Rhinox, ripping his ass open, and firing down some of the Predacons or the Terracons. So I thought that was pretty awesome, but unfortunately he is not Blast Effect compatible. So yeah, that's a little bit of a shame, but still a very nicely done looking weapon mode. And there was my quick review for the entire first wave of the Rise of the Beasts Beast Battle Masters. Overall, really cool idea. You know, I love Skullcruncher and Rhinox. Unfortunately, Cheetor I just think is the weakest out of the wave. Not too great looking beast mode, and not the best looking weapon, especially how it integrates with some of the other figures. But Skullcruncher and Rhinox definitely get a recommendation from me. And if you can pick up multiples of Rhinox and Skullcruncher, I think that's going to be really cool, because just in terms of their weapon modes, they are awesome, but they're also really nice to have just in their beast mode. So yeah, for a price point of around $4.99, I definitely think these are worthy of adding to your collection, but they'll no doubt be discounted in a few months. And maybe if you don't think they're worth their price point, then just hold out, and I'm pretty certain you'll be able to pick up multiples of them, probably for a discount. So let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of these three out of the bunch, which is your favorite, and until my next review, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.